I remember we were doing Ibiza Rocks, and I'm like, what am I doing here? You know what I mean?
What am I
This
doing?
microphone in my hand.
Joining us in the studio is my younger brother, Mr. Jake Bugg.
Yeah.
Morning, buddy.
Morning, mate.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Good. Is this early for you?
Yeah, it is early for me. I don't know how you do it every day, to be honest. It's like, you know, yeah.
I do it.
Yeah, it's pretty early for me, I won't lie.
I was looking back yesterday, so I've often told this story about, because I met you, because your first album came out 2012, like September or something, wasn't it? Something like that?
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
And I'd left the Radio 1 then. And then weirdly, even though I wasn't on the radio, got to know you through our friend Jodie and whatnot. And I always tell this lovely story about just how normal you are. You know, you don't want to be a pop star. You don't want to be any kind of star. You're all about the music and everything. And you came and joined us in the pub, and you'd just gone to do TV, and you've been doing the Graham Norton show. And I remember I was like, oh my God, that's a big deal. And you're like, yeah, I just performed on it. How was it? And you're like, it was all right.
That's all right.
And I'm like, who was on with you? And you're like, can't remember. And we worked out it was Samuel L. Jackson.
Oh, yes, that's right.
And I was like, I wonder if I can find that. Because I don't think they interviewed you. I think you just performed, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
And it was also Sandra Bullock was also on the show as well.
Oh,
right?
okay.
Massive names.
Hollywood lane, yeah.
And then Jake literally came in the pub and went, yeah, just on Graham Norton. How was it? Yeah, it was all right. What are you drinking? I'll have a buy that. And honestly, you haven't changed.
Oh, cheers, mate. Thank you. That's very kind of you to say. Yeah, well, it's just something that comes with it. You know, if you enjoy playing music, something that comes along with it, isn't it? So,
yeah, but this was all very new. There you go. Look, there's you. Nick Frost is there as well.
Oh, yeah.
But I just remember being like, God, he's absolutely... If that was me, I'd have burst into the pub going... Sorry, just hanging out with Samuel L. Jackson.
Absolutely.
Who's buying me a drink? Jody, get to the bar. I invited him. He might turn up. I don't know. And you're just like, just no, whatever.
Well, good, though. I'd just like to say, Graham, it was better than all right, by the way.
Yeah, you're listening.
Yeah, it was excellent is what you actually said. Yeah.
But you must get phased. There must have been people that you've met along the way where you've gone, oh, my God.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I remember we did it again a few years later, and... that time it was Sylvester Stallone, Robert De Niro, I think Jonah Hill, and then me sat at the end of it for some reason.
You're absolutely right.
You've met Robert De Niro?
Yeah, I met him on the show, yeah.
Wow, was he lovely? Was he?
They were all nice, yeah. So after the show, Sylvester Stallone, he was brilliant. He was a great on form and a great bit of fun.
Wow,
yeah, it was brilliant.
Have you ever asked someone for a selfie?
No.
I can't imagine you doing that, actually.
I don't know. It's like, no, I don't think I would, no. I don't know.
No, not even a footballer?
No, a selfie, I don't know. Well, I might go, I could get a picture for that guy's camera over there, but I'm not going to pull my phone out and start taking selfies. I don't know. Which musicians have you met where you've just been like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm even in the same room or... Oh, that's a tough question. I mean, it's funny. It's like, especially like growing up with the music that I enjoy growing up and then going on tour with some of these people as well. Like I remember we were lucky enough to support the Rolling Stones at Hyde Park many years ago, and which was just absolutely insane. And obviously going on tour with Noel and Liam as well was just brilliant. So yeah, I mean, there's definitely a few for sure. And I mean, it never gets old. It's always an exciting, mad feeling, really.
Were you out with Liam and John Squire as well? Did you do that?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I was brilliant, to be honest. It was like, you know, two people that I grew up listening to. So to watch them on the same stage together, and I enjoy those support shows. I forget how fun they are. You know, half an hour.
Absolutely. And then enjoy yourself.
Pub's still open. Yeah.
Have you had the call for the new Oasis tour?
No, I think everyone in the world will be trying to get that gig. I think, you know, of course, I'm sure if there was any opportunity, it would be great. But no, I think every band and their dogs want that gig, I think. So,
what were you listening to when you? Can you remember when you got into music? What era that was?
What kind of when
Yeah, so like I remember, I think I was about. So my brother was 3 years older than me. So and we had a record player, Jake, downstairs with mum and dad's vinyl, right? So whatever they had,
brothers and stuff.
And then my brother, he started getting into music. So whatever he liked, he was a bit out there at the time for me. So like that's how I found out about the Pogues and people like that and whatnot, the Waterboys, and then I discovered music about the age of 9, 10 was when I suddenly was like, and just found, but it was all chart stuff. It was all, you know, it was all that. Can you remember what it was for you?
When I was about 11 or 12, when I started playing the guitar, it was like, you know, I grew up when it was like, you know, it was like the YouTube generation when it started coming out. So it was like you go down these rabbit holes of like, you know, different artists and genres. But so for me, it was like, you know, I got really into like Jimi Hendrix, obviously your Beatles, Neil Young and stuff. But at the time, I think when I was that age, I think in the charts, it was very much like Lady Gaga and a lot of Justin Bieber and things like that. Not that I was listening to, but my friends at school were. But yeah, for me, it was like anything kind of guitar-based starting out, really.
Were you never into any of the pop stuff like that? It wasn't your thing.
I mean, yeah, there'd be the odd tune that I'd like that I'd pretend I wouldn't in front of me. But
Is there a guilty pleasure hidden away in Jake Bugg?
Ooh, guilty pleasure.
YMCA.
I don't know. I think when I was young, I might enjoyed the odd Nelly Furtado song, baby.
Oh, see, that's
all right.
That's not bad.
Oh, well, that's all right then. I don't know, you know. It's like, but no, I thought, yeah, a couple of tunes were all right.
Would you collaborate with Nelly on something?
Yeah, if there was something that could work, yeah, absolutely. I think she's amazing. She's got an amazing voice. Yeah, never say never.
See, that's the thing, though. I always like the idea of going, right, you've got Nelly Furtado, you've got Jake Bugg. Would that work if we put Nelly in the studio with you? What do you like in the studio? Is it your show? It's what you want to do with it? Are you pretty much in charge?
Yeah, when it's my record, like you know, you want to have your stamp on it for sure. But when I'm collaborating with other songwriters, if it's for their records and stuff, like it's about trying to, you know, get to their vision, isn't it? And it's about trying to help them in the best way possible. So yeah, if it's for my record, of course you have to be a bit like that. But yeah, it's a collaborative process that I really enjoy, and working with other people as well.
Was there now that, because we were saying the other day, because you're 30 now.
Yeah, thanks for reminding me.
Is it hard for you, love? Yeah. Is it? Do you know what these are, Jake? These are called spectacles. I didn't wear these when I was 30, but now I can't read without them.
Sorry.
My heart bleeds cow urine for you. It really does.
Oh, cheers. 30. Thank you.
Oh, God.
I'm old enough to be your dad. That's actually true.
You're old enough to be his granddad.
Hey!
Honest.
I need to be rude.
But when you look back now, you like signing your deal. So forgive me if I'm taking you back a bit, but I don't know if I've asked you these questions before. How did you get the deal? Was it all? Did it all happen kind of naturally and organically?
Yeah, it happened really quick, to be honest. Well, it's like I originally started doing some like demos and stuff when I was like 15, 16, and then met one of my other managers now, Jason, who introduced me to my other manager, Keith, who knew someone at a label at that time, and
were these local? So I love getting into it.
No,
because I know there are people who'll be listening going, how do you get that? So is that around where you lived?
Yeah, well, Jason, he's from Nottingham as well, and he'd give me a bit of free recording stuff, and he knew Keith, and then it just kind of snowballed. In like about 6 months, I already had a deal, and which kind of blew my mind, because the whole talk and everything up to that point was like how difficult it was to get one.
Yeah.
And then my mum had to sign it. I wasn't 18, so she had to sign it. Yeah. And you know, she starts crying. I'm like, don't start crying now. Put that pen on that paper. You know?
And she gets all the money now. So that's good as well.
No, that doesn't happen. No, that's
right. She's like, oh, you like that, and I love that. Yeah. Thank you very much. But do you look back now and see, because at the time you were probably like, wow, that was amazing, because they were saying, oh, you know, it might happen, might not. Now you look back, and after being in the game for a long time, it is one in a million chance, isn't it?
Absolutely. And I think a lot of people think once you get the deal that's you've kind of made it, but the reality is that's when the hard work starts. And I didn't realise until I'd signed that, you'd be like one of maybe 8 or 10 other artists that actually get to release their record as well. So yeah, getting signed isn't, you haven't just made it really, but at the same time, it's, it's kind of, I enjoy those early days and how mad it was in some ways. And I wouldn't change it for anything. But I think in the current climate, I think it's even more difficult to get a record deal now, I think. Even much harder. And people still bought CDs when I put my first album out. And it's changed so much since then. So, yeah, I wouldn't even know if I'd get one now. You just never know. It
is crazy. I think I'll never get the number right because it's probably more, but it's something like 30,000, 40,000 songs are released on the platforms every week.
Right, every week?
Yeah, it might even be more than that. It's so hard to break through now. But when you started, obviously, you want to perform, you want to write, you want to play, you want to do gigs. Wouldn't it be great to have an album and get a record deal? Which you did. You did all of that, and it was great. And then, how important was, or what was success then? Can you remember? Like, what were you like? I hope this happens because that will be great.
I mean, for me, ever since I was about 14, 15, my dream was just to go around the world playing in front of people, and I didn't really care how many people that would be. I'd still be doing it if it was 10 people every night. So the fact that, it's more than that, and you get played on the radio and stuff, and I remember hearing the song first time on the radio. That's always an incredible feeling as well. I think it might have even skipped, to be honest, which was I think so, yeah. Which is quite funny. And I was like, I'm never listening to it again now because I just don't want to jinx it. But but yeah, for me, it's I think it's, as long as you're enjoying it and doing it you love, I think that's successful in its own way. I think
it is great. It is, the success has been phenomenal and continues to be. And what's great as well is the fact, I don't know if you've watched any of this boy band documentary series that they've been running called Boy Bands Forever. So I don't know if it might be too early for you, but it's all about kind of the beginnings of Take That, and then bands like Five and 911 and Boyzone and Westlife and blah blah blah, and you look at when it all breaks up. And sometimes, bands have been around for 3-4 years, and then they just break up and they go. And you look back and you go, 4 years as a boy band. So actually, that's an amazing career for them. That was brilliant. And then it's over so quick. Whereas you, coming up on the outside, where, as far as I'm aware, you've never done a dance routine, really.
Not quite, but I did do a couple of shows with Camel Fat, and obviously I didn't have a guitar in my hand, and that felt very weird. I remember.
Did it?
Well, I remember we were doing Ibiza Rocks, and I'm like, what am I doing here? You know what I mean?
What am I
this
doing?
Microphone in my hand, and then I was trying to do things with your hands. It's like, what do you do with your hands? And then I remember towards the end of the song, just the pyrotechnics went off, and I'd one expecting it, so it just caught me off guard. Then I had to try and style that out after just jumping. And then we did a Coachella as well in the dance, and that was again. I mean, I really enjoyed it, but I was thinking at the time, what am I doing?
It's when you're used to doing it, whatever way you do it. When it's slightly changed, it is weird, isn't it?
Well, it just always reminds me Talladega Nights. What do I do with my hands? It's just
the new album, which is phenomenal, by the way.
Thank you.
Which is Jake's 6th studio album.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Zombieland is brilliant. The whole album is brilliant, but Zombieland, we played to death on the radio.
From the first second, you know it's a belter as well.
Straight in.
Such a great intro.
Absolute belter. Does it just all come? Do you get any pressure now, or when it comes to writing songs?
Yeah, absolutely. I think especially as I've gotten older, I think you feel it more and more. I think when you're younger, you just think everything you do is gonna be great in some way. But as you get older, you kind of, you take it a lot more seriously. I'm definitely a lot more disciplined in my songwriting now of actually finishing things as well.
Right.
So it's I mean, you just become more serious about it, I think.
Do you have people around you that you have to bounce stuff off?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think it's important, and it's it's interesting to get everybody's opinion, from management to, the people in your band to people that don't play an instrument at all. And usually I like to kind of base it off those averages. If 9 out of 10 people say the song's bad, then I'm probably not reconsider.
And when it's you, Jake Bugg, that, like you say, you've got people around you, you've got your managers, you've got your band and all that. But when it comes to what you want to call the album? Is it the track listing that you want it to be in that order? Is it all on you?
Yeah, absolutely. This record, like, the track listing is something we thought very hard about as well. And it's always a funny thing, that, as well, because, you'll put an order together and then 4 songs in, you go, oh, no, it doesn't work. So you got to go all the way back to the start again to see if it works in context. And but this is an album, every detail, even the track listing, every lyric of every musical aspect was scrutinised heavily. And if it felt, good, then we'd try and do better than that if we could.
It's amazing, isn't it? Because it's stuff that you just don't think about until you have to deal with it. Because I remember seeing I can't remember, I was with a band one day and they were working out the order of songs that they were going to... And I'm like, and they said, what? It was with Kelly Jones from Stereophonics. It was ahead of a festival that we were involved with. And me, Jodie and Kelly went to the pub. And he's like, God, I've got to work out what we're going to start with. I don't know what we're starting with tomorrow. Yeah. And I'm like, really? And he goes, yeah. He goes, well, that'll be set. We'll do that last. We'll do that then. And that's when he goes, we'll probably start with that track. And I'm like, why would you start with that? It's got no one to it. He goes, because we need one where we can just check our monitoring and everything. And I'm like, yeah, really?
Well, that's it. It's like you don't know. I was putting the set together for this tour, and we'd change it for the UK dates as opposed to the European dates. And we went first night in at Leeds Academy, and we're like, well, we don't know what to expect. We don't know if the set's going to be, people are going to find it boring. And then we were tweaking it every night. And it's that can be a bit stressful. That you just don't know what's going to react with people at the show, to be honest. So.
What's your pre-show ritual? Do you have one?
No, I don't. I don't like to have get superstitious and get into these things of relying on certain things. And no, not really. I mean, if it's a festival and it's a short set, we might have a shot or something. But
that's it.
But that's about it.
And then no drink afterwards.
No, that is the ritual.
Right.
No,
Hope so.
Well, I said, it's always lovely to see you. I'm so happy for your success. It's just unbelievable what you've done, and still going. And fingers crossed, you're going to be around forever.
Yeah. Well, I just keep going. I enjoy doing it. I still enjoy it more than I ever did, probably. So I'll get cracking on the new record as soon as possible.
Well, you can have a break. You can have a. Really?
I can have one of them, when I'm older, can't I?
When did the album come out? Last month?
October. Yeah.
Right, yeah. So you can relax.
Yeah, but
do you know what I think you should do? Go on holiday, sit by a pool, get some sun. I bet you're really good at just doing nothing and chilling.
I am for about a week, and then I'm like, I need to do something now. It's but it's what I love to do. It's when I was growing up, I seeked refuge in the music. So it was that's what keeps you going. So.
Listen, top lad, always love to see you. Modern Day Distraction is out now. It's an absolute killer album from Little Jake Bugg. There he is. Good to see you. See you soon, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Jake Bugg.
Yeah, guys, thank you.
Radio X.